175 years ago, Julia Chatfield and 10 other Ursuline sisters arrived from France to St. Martin, Ohio. They would soon found the Ursulines of Brown County, who would, nearly 50 years ago, found Chatfield College. Julia Chatfield, the superior of the Ursulines of Brown County for over 30 years. She was enterprising and faithful, and she said throughout her life that we are all guided by an invisible hand that we must adore in silence. The Julia Chatfield Honor Society was founded in 2003 in her name. Individuals inducted into the society are graduating seniors who have maintained a 3.75 GPA or higher and have demonstrated personal integrity through exemplary scholarship, service to others, and moral or spiritual values. As part of the admittance process, these students are required to write a short essay on how they have demonstrated integrity through scholarship, service, or spiritual and moral values. It is my privilege as the Honor Society advisor to announce the 2020 inductees and to share with you their accomplishments via this video in lieu of our regular ceremony. To the inductees, I could not be more proud of you, and I know you all will continue to uphold the impressive standards you have set for yourself and will carry our Ursuline values with you as you begin your next chapter. Without further ado, I present our 2020 Julia Chatfield inductees.
For the longest time, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher due to the constant want to help others. Being a teacher meant giving individuals a foundation to build upon for their future. Not only did I want to help them build as a learner, I wanted to help them grow as a person as well. I wanted to be able to teach them morals, also while teaching them their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. My mother was a preschool teacher for approximately 10 years. Every single day, she would come home with a new story that always ended with a little twist. Stories that would make you laugh until you cry, stories that would make you smile ear to ear. Sometimes the stories would break your heart and make you thankful for the life that you are living. These students looked at my mom's classroom as an escape and a safe place. Some place where all the negative thoughts just melt away. This encouraged me to reach for the stars and grasp hold of my future. The day senior year started, I knew it was time to crack down, buckle up, and get a head start on my future. This meant deciding on a college that I wanted to start my new life adventure at. After the first quarter, I had it narrowed down to 2 options: Shawnee State University and Chatfield College. Both colleges held wonderful opportunities for a brighter future, but one stood out more than the other, that college being Chatfield. When I went on a tour to Chatfield, it was so peaceful and it instantly felt like a second home to me. My only issue was going to be, how can I afford my future? I began to do research on how to reach my goals. Scholarships became the answer to my prayers. I've always been into writing, and writing always was a stress reliever for me. With that being said, I began filling out scholarships left and right. I am blessed with the ones that I received. I know I would never have made it without the support from the donors. Now I am about to graduate in May. Friendships that I have created have become family. Memories have become ones I will cherish forever and hold on to. I never would have reached my goals without the constant support of my family, friends, and the staff of Chatfield, and of course my donors. Even though I'm going to miss this campus and everyone who has impacted my life that came through those Chatfield doors, I cannot wait to see where this life journey takes me. Thank you, Chatfield.
Scholarship has played a huge role in my time here at Chatfield College. Before being accepted into Chatfield, I knew how I performed in high school would affect how I learned at Chatfield. Due to being awarded the Austin E. Knowlton Scholarship, I knew I wanted to set high goals for myself, such as getting straight A's. I not only had my own standards to meet, but I now had the scholarship committee who chose me as a recipient to show that I was worth the scholarship. In the early start of my educational career at Chatfield, I was in the Introduction to Criminal Justice class. This class was quite small and we were able to get to know each other, whereas if the class had been bigger, I don't think I would have had an impact. I had shared the goals that I had set for myself and told the class that so far I had been achieving them. My classmates asked how I was able to balance just everything I had going on. I told them that I had worked on my time management skills while in high school, and I was able to find a way of studying that worked for me. Throughout the course of the class, I saw how my goals began to affect the other students, and they began to work on finding their own study habits and time management skills that allowed them to be more successful both in and out of the classroom. Scholarship is something that I hope I will continue to carry with me as I continue my higher education career, as well as when I begin a work career of my own.
Throughout my time at Chatfield College, I have been involved in several service programs and roles that have played a part in reaching out to my local community and impacting lives in order to make the world a better place. One of my favorite projects that I have led and organized from the beginning of its existence is the live Nativity at my church. I came up with the idea in an effort to reach out to the community surrounding the church. This project has gone on for 3 years and has been successful in providing a safe, affordable, and family-friendly Christmas activity for families of all kinds. Another project that I hold dear is the Walk for Life. This event takes place annually in the county's seat of Clinton County, Wilmington, Ohio. The event is organized by a local crisis pregnancy center, the New Life Clinic. The funds that are raised by multiple teams across the county, one of which I lead annually, are used to keep the clinic going for the following year. Secondly, I am involved in the Blanchester Public Library as a volunteer whenever I have spare time in between. The library provides a place for children to learn and have access to books, which is vital to the mental and scholarly growth of children across the globe. I love being a part of this process. Awana Clubs is another program in which I have been involved in for 4 years. This program is run by my church in an effort to provide a safe place for the children in our community grow, learn, and have a person building into their life on a weekly basis. I finally volunteer at Scioto Hills Christian Camp and Retreat Center year-round. The past 2 years, I have worked throughout the summer in support staff positions. As a support staffer, I work behind the scenes in order to make the camp experience as smooth and as enjoyable as it can be. Working behind the scenes, I am able to see lives changed in both the lives of campers and the lives of summer staffers. Not only do I get to see others grow, but I also get to see myself grow, which makes the experience even more life-changing. I am grateful for the times that I've had to grow through all of these experiences.
When it comes to the term scholarship, to me it means dedication and thriving for an education. To me, this can't be a better way to describe how I feel about the education that I'm working towards, not only at Chatfield, but for the future to come. Growing up, I did not come from a family that has a strong line of people who have worked for an education. Mostly, my family is made up of blue-collar workers. So as a child, I can recall on so many occasions when my father would talk to me about how important it was that I have a good work ethic towards my schooling. He would explain to me that every day he goes to work to make sure we have food to eat and a warm place to sleep. That was his job. While for me, it was my job to go to school every day and bring home good grades for him and my mother. Although I think this does sometimes backfire on him because what I now consider good work ethic towards getting something done, others see it as going above and beyond what I was asked to do. I believe that is why I was nominated for the Julia Chatfield Honor Society, because I've put forth that dedication to my education and I am so humbled to even be considered as a possible member. During my time at Chatfield, I've taken quite a few classes and have learned so much. Some classes I can say were much easier than others, and this is something I like to use to remind myself that not everything will come easy in life. I've had to spend countless nights and weekends studying or writing to prepare myself for the next class or the final that I was going to be presented with. I can thank my father for the drive he instilled in me for that, because I don't think without it I could have had the determination to work so hard to get where I am today. Looking back, I can now see where all my hard work and long hours have paid off. For nearly every semester, I've found myself on the Dean's List, and now I'm under consideration to be part of the Julia Chatfield Honor Society, which is something I can say I am truly proud and humbled of. Now, I could say to everyone that it was only because of me that I've gotten to this point in my life. But if I did do that, I would not only be telling an enormous lie to myself, but to others as well. Chatfield staff and professors have absolutely helped me and encouraged me throughout my time here. There was so many times where I honestly thought I was getting in over my head with the challenge of going to college, and that I should quit now because I wasn't going to make it. Instead of letting me quit, a few special people have reminded me that I didn't work this hard to get this far, only to give up on something that is so important to me, and that is my education.
Years as a Chatfield student, I have been thrust into a world of academia and nurtured by an atmosphere that can only be described as enveloping. When I started here, I had been a former student from another institution who had almost given up on my dreams to become a college graduate, the first female in my family. As I went through the process of admissions, I was still nervous, plagued with questions like, was I good enough? But I was reassured by the faculty that I was indeed good enough. From that first day, my attitude was changed, and it was the genuine atmosphere of this very school that I credit for it. My once self-centered value system thawed, and I was the first one to offer help to my classmates if ever there was a time they needed it. My spirit was no longer weighed down by my own thoughts of hopelessness, and I was now being a beacon for others who were once bogged by my former troublesome mindset. My acts of kindness weren't as widespread as others, but they were done from the same place of generosity and sincerity. My academic life was one that had been cast aside before, and I promised myself that this time I would fight for my son so that he could see it was possible despite adversities, and be an example for the younger pupils who attended my class so that they knew days spent in class were not to be viewed in vain. I helped as many people as I could during my time here, from sharing books to lending pens and helping with note taking, and for that, I give a multitude of thanks to all the amazing spirits at Chatfield who encouraged me along the way. My brighter outlook and reignited values in morality and spirituality can all be accredited to my time here. Thank you.
In 7th grade, my English teacher told our class that the best way to know if you have learned something is to try to teach it to someone else. My 8th grade science teacher told us to try to explain new concepts to each other as though we were trying to teach them to a 2nd grader. This concept has helped me through my years of school and has helped me to develop a personal understanding of scholarship and service. I have excelled in school since my kindergarten teacher opened my world up by teaching me to read. I learned how to navigate online schooling during my time with K-12. I have learned how to be self-driven in my studies from 2.5 years of homeschooling. I do fine with auditory, visual, and kinesthetic learning, and often benefit from a mix of all three. One thing has stayed consistent during all my time in school, though. When I am struggling with a concept, all I have to do is try to explain it to someone else. In all subjects, this is how I overcome not understanding something, but it's also a motivator for me to keep pushing myself to learn more and become more deeply understanding of a subject material in class. I work hard to help others in school. This can vary from starting email threads to help answer algebra questions to even meeting someone after class to help them edit their English paper. I always try to get involved with class discussions because following discussion is a major assistance to students who might not have understood the assigned readings. I don't hesitate to ask questions because I know that there is no shame in not understanding something, but another student might not know this yet. Asking questions and getting involved in class not only sets an example, but also indirectly helps people who might not know how to ask for help yet. With all of these situations, I am glad to help. I am glad to be someone that other students know that they can come to with questions after class. I am glad to be someone who can explain different concepts because this is a sign to me that I have genuinely understood, and now I am able to teach what we have learned. I truly believe that knowledge is not something that we should keep to ourselves, but instead something that should be shared as it is gained. Our strength lies in our ability to rely on one another and benefit from the relationships that develop as we grow. I am proud of how much I have learned and how much I have been able to assist others in their own learning. I hope that the future holds plentiful amounts of learning and teaching for me as well.